Hello everyone and welcome to our AIS Facebook platform. Just to share with you another very important aspect today. It is in regard to the qualification in Ayurveda and especially qualification to become a practitioner in Ayurveda in Australia. Now, as we all know, there are two qualifications which are nationally approved qualification in Australia for Ayurveda. One is a diploma in Ayurvedic lifestyle consultant, which is HLT62615, and then there is another qualification which is Advanced Diploma qualification HLT62615. Now, first of all, I would like to share with all who are in Australia and New Zealand that we are the two countries in the Western world where Ayurvedic qualifications, Ayurvedic courses are nationally recognized qualifications. Even though we still are self-regulatory modalities in this part of the world, and Ayurveda comes under complementary medicine in Australia and New Zealand, but there are no other countries in the Western world where Ayurvedic qualifications are nationally recognized. And what that means is that anyone who wants to practice Ayurveda, because now for the last 15, 20 years or even a bit more, Ayurveda is becoming more and more recognized by our public for their well-being. As we all know, yoga has been in a part of Western countries, those who seek wellness at a different level, trying to keep their body in much more balanced state. It is in a different subject that while yoga is a complete science and yoga philosophy, and yoga has its own 8 limbs to learn so that you can become a very good yoga follower, and then with your intense practices, regular practices, you can become eligible to teach yoga for others. But as we all know, yoga predominantly in the Western world is only in relation to the yoga asanas, and even though yoga asanas are only the one component of the 8 limbs of yoga, but still it is so powerful and it can help and give everyone who is into yoga certain benefit. In same way, Ayurveda is following very fast in the Western world, not even in Western world, everywhere I will say, and people are seeking Ayurvedic treatments for their various problems. But then in many other countries except Australia and New Zealand, various schools or various organizations, they run Ayurvedic courses according to their own standards or structure of the courses. Not two courses in any country can be the same subject. Reason is those are just structured by whoever want to run courses, whether it is Mexico where the Dr. Ladd's courses or some other courses which is the California College of Ayurveda or some colleges in England or Germany. If you pick up their course material, course structure, that is totally different to each other. But we are very fortunate that in Australia and New Zealand we have these nationally recognized qualifications. So what that means is that whoever want to practice Ayurveda, if they achieve these qualifications, they can start their practice and help people who are seeking Ayurvedic help. And the reason why people are nowadays seeking Ayurvedic help for their problem, because slowly everyone who is able to think out of the box for their well-being, that while Western medicine has its own role, no question about that, but everyone is becoming more and more aware that Western medicine does not have a solution for their problem without adding a lot of side effect or complications. And hence, majority of the problems which we talk about as a lifestyle related problem, whether it is simple hay fever, sinus congestion, asthma, diabetes, autoimmune disorders even, and then your joint problem, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and even heart problems, blood pressure, these are all lifestyle related problems. And people are considering nowadays that what are the other solutions available to them. And then, as we all know, 20 years ago, people were used to adopt or go and choose different kind of complementary medicine, whether it is naturopathic or even some other kind of forms of modalities. But they all realize in the last 10 years that each of those complementary medicine, they don't have their own principles, neither in relation to the anatomy and physiology or pathology, pharmacology, clinical diagnostic skills. Each one try to follow the Western science model. And then their focus is also bombarding the client with the different kind of nutraceuticals product. So while people still follow them as a main complementary medicines part, but yes, public is becoming more and more aware that they want something different which has a much more complete holistic approach to their well-being, where they can play a role in their well-being, where practitioner can make them aware what are the core cause of their problem and help to correct the cause rather than bombarding with the different kind of supplement. Hence, public is more and more interested in Ayurveda. And when we talk about that, the benefit of Ayurveda becoming, or Ayurveda being a recognized qualification in Australia and New Zealand, first part is that those who have acquired Ayurvedic qualification in India, where we have Ayurvedic colleges, universities, as we have our Western medicines colleges and universities, and students can go from the very beginning after you've done your school qualifications, year 13, year 12, or even graduation as a BSc or something, and you want to now go into professional, you can choose Ayurveda, and there is a 6-year degree in Ayurvedic medicine which one can acquire, where you have to learn comprehensively, full time, all Ayurvedic skill, so that you can confidently help your client when they come to you. Now, same way, and those practitioners, if they now come to Australia, they don't need to do some other odd job as in any other country. Even if you go to USA, you have to do some kind of other study, whether you become a registered massage therapist, and then under that you keep working as an Ayurvedic practitioner or Ayurvedic therapist, or some other kind of aspect, even nutrition or something. You have to have a license to, in some other modalities, to follow Ayurvedic practice. But in Australia, it is not like that. In Australia, you can acquire qualification, which are 2 qualifications, as I mentioned in the beginning, diploma and advanced diploma. Now, as Ayurveda is becoming more and more popular and acceptable, and public can understand about its standards also, and able to know that what sort of practitioner they should look at. Public is now becoming more aware that there is a higher qualification which is known as Advanced Diploma in Ayurveda in Australia. And then they also know there is a second qualification, Diploma in Ayurveda. So, time is coming that people are seeking a higher qualified practitioner for their problems to share, which is very natural. When you look at even in our medical practices in the Western world, we have GP, people go to GP, which they know that they are very well qualified, but then they look for specialties if they are having any issues, either to their joint problem or to their endocrine system or the heart issues or some other kind of thing. That's where the specialist comes up. And for that they have to always go toward the specialist, not with the general practitioner. Same way, 30 years ago, as you can see, there were qualification in the complementary medicine, whether it is naturopathic courses or some other. They were all online courses or 1-year course or so, and people were becoming as a naturopath or different kind of practitioner. Nowadays you can see it is very rare that someone with an online naturopathic course and running their practice, people will be more confidently go to them until or unless they don't have any other option, they are in the remote areas or the practitioner is only the one which is available there. Same is becoming in Ayurveda. 15-20 years it was very difficult to set up your practice in Ayurveda. It was not viable, and not many people were coming to get Ayurvedic treatments or advice. And on top of that, it also was very essential, even though it is today that what level of knowledge you have gathered under those qualifications. So say if you were diploma qualification you have acquired in Ayurveda, but then because again as I said, while these two qualifications are nationally recognized in Australia, but still their teaching standards varies because there is no such guideline that what need to be taught in a diploma level qualification, and then it all depending upon that institute and the teacher who is teaching the qualification. If the teacher himself or herself is only having a qualification of diploma level because their background was either into computer, IT, or as an engineer, and now they found that because Ayurveda is becoming more and more popular, so they somehow got qualifications. Majority of the qualifications again in those sort of time is online qualification, no hand-on sort of experience on all the specific practical oriented subject and not going much in depth. So students were able to get attracted toward those colleges for many reasons, because that college is in their city, so they don't need to travel too far, or somehow some people were always attracted towards a shorter courses, they will go to that. But when they come with a qualification, they realize and they struggle that when they make such a good effort to set up their practices, that they are not confident to help people. As I always have shared, I can be very thick-skinned and start pretending that I am a very good practitioner and set up my practice. But no matter how thick-skinned you are and how much you live with that sort of darkness, one day all these activities, all what I'm doing will start hitting my conscious, and that's where my own problems will start coming up, and that's where the person will lose their confidence, and that's why what will happen, people might give up the practice or might try to find another modality or some other kind of business to make their living. And now, as you can see, when I said that these were all in the early days, Ayurvedic qualification, the two qualifications which are approved here, why we always from the AIS advise that you should do your diploma qualification first, so that you don't make any big commitment straight away, because at AIS from the last 20-25 years, we always have done the course to that level what we taught in the universities level in India, in-depth level of each subject. And the reason behind that is that in my last 46 years of clinical practice and teaching, I have noticed, and while we were studying for 6-7 years in universities, we know how intensive or intense is the learning to become a little bit confident that I am now capable of helping someone who come and seek Ayurvedic help. Because Ayurveda is such a vast subject. And due to many reasons, we are not in a position to offer universities degree qualifications in this part of the world yet. And the biggest hindrance behind that is that These courses are self-funded. Students have to pay from their own pocket. They have their families, they have their own life, children. So many reasons are there. Not many still come from the school or that level of year 12 or 13, because everyone here has to study by funding themselves. Even you might would like to, not everyone's parents are going to fund your qualification as it happened in those countries. But anyway, that's a different subject. So when we have the student coming to us, we always advise that you should get diploma qualification, and when they get diploma qualification, they realize that what they are into, how in depth, how vast Ayurvedic knowledge is, and they have acquired only little bit of that. But whatever they acquire, they feel, those who are sincere students, serious students, those who have taken Ayurveda not for fun's sake, and when they start adopting Ayurvedic principles in their life, they can see how much difference this science can make to them. And that's where they become confident and start their practices. And there are many students, right, who are running their very successful practices with the diploma qualifications. But now, in the last 10 years or 5 years, I can definitely say, time is coming up now that public is trying to pick wherever possible a practitioner within a higher qualification. And the higher qualification, as far as today's time is in Australia, is only Advanced Diploma qualification. And that is why it has become now very important. I won't say mandatory, because you can still practice as at a diploma level, but it is for the benefit of those who are able to run their practices with the diploma qualifications and running good practices, that, or even if you are not having good practice but you already got into practice, it will be always good in your interest in long run that you should look at whenever possible to acquire advanced diploma qualification, because one, it will give you a lot of extra skills. Advanced diploma program, apart from surgery and panchakarma component, can give you everything to that in depth what is being taught even at university level through our AIS program. But then the confidence what you get is of two levels. One is the skill based, one is that how you carry yourself in the society. Because when you have a higher qualification in the modality which you are practicing, people always look towards you with a much more confident, with a much more respect, that you have a higher qualification in the science what they want to follow, and they don't have any doubt in that respect. And that is itself is one of such a big achievement, that one can feel so confident when you are sitting in your clinic. And then the various level of skill which you will acquire, which you don't have in diploma level, whether it is in your diagnostic skill, you are doing your pulse examination. Here the pulse examination will take you to a different level. You can now do the different organs pulse and find out what ailment are manifesting and building or can happen. One of the biggest learning at AIS or in advanced diploma is the tenfold examination and eightfold examination much in a depth with the Ayurvedic iridology, which is something nowhere you can even acquire. I can confidently say that not even our university qualifications graduate who come from overseas, India or like that, they have that level of knowledge because they never learned that. And then in the same way, various bodywork treatment. And why I'm saying bodywork treatment, because whether you are at a diploma level or at an advanced diploma level, these bodywork treatments are the one which are the gateway for your practice, because people will seek those bodywork treatments for various specific ailments, because these are all remedial treatment, means correcting the ailment, not just a flip-flop relaxation massages or like that. These body works are very precise for specific problem, whether you are having a fibromyalgia or myasthenia gravis or MS issues or adrenal fatigue syndromes or mental issues, emotional issues, all those kind of, and then your back issues, which we call as our musculoskeletal treatment, but with a much more intensity, because you learn how to take the impact of those treatment much more at deeper level. And in the same way, when we talk about the pathologies, you will understand and learn at a much more deeper level. Same is with the comparative analysis of Ayurvedic understanding with the Western concept. And it is not that you have to know about the Western medicine part, but because we all are living in the Western world, and Western science is still the dominant, and people have a much more natural acquaintance with the Western medicine's concept. They want to understand their problem from that perspective. So that is something students need to acquire with the confidence. And then the same is with the Ayurvedic herbology, understanding the complex preparations, how they work, how to choose, why to choose, all that sort of part. But learning is on a one side, where your own level of confidence after acquiring advanced diploma has no comparison. You feel you are in that country where you got and acquired the higher qualification in the modality which people want to seek help with. And when they come, you can explain, and when they see your qualification on the wall, they can easily see that you have a higher qualification in Ayurveda. That's why I will advise that those who are either already doing a part-time or full-time Ayurvedic practice with the diploma qualification, they should definitely look at going towards an advanced diploma qualification, whether you do now or later. But this will be my advice to all of you. Either you are struggling in practice, and that's where you can also identify that why you are struggling in practice. It can be because your skills are limited, which is very obvious in diploma, right, level, while you still have so much to learn in advanced in diploma level, but you cannot learn everything in that sort of span. Even though the diploma qualification what we offer is of 18 months, and sometimes students take a little bit longer to complete their all the assignment and requirement, because it's a quite intense requirement of completing all those assessment, which, because the course is assessment based, skill assessment has to be achieved so that you get a qualification with confidence. So then, even if you are getting much skilled in that and still feel a bit restrictive, that only because you have not learned those level of skill what advanced diploma qualification offer. And once you able to get into advanced diploma, you will see how much confident you become. And that where it can not only add more and more skill and expand your ability to help people with the serious ailment, but add more confidence to yourself, your personality, your whole aura will be full of that confidence. And as I said before, now people are not coming to Ayurveda only to know about their body type, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and then give me some food that Vata cannot eat apple and Pitta cannot eat chili. That is not what Ayurveda people are seeking for. People are coming up for more and more serious problem. They want the solution. They're not interested to go to other complementary medicine, and that is what you can help them. And you will help them if your knowledge is much more wider and you have a more wider scope of skills acquired through your higher qualification in Ayurveda, and then serve the mankind. And again, this is not something you are learning that it is a new age kind of wave which will fade after 2 years or 3 years. So my investment is only for 3 years and then I have to look for something new. As every one of you know, Ayurveda is one of the oldest system of healing. It has a very specific record of 5,000 years of written traits, and the modality which has been around for 5,000 years ago, I can confidently say to all of you that this is the science which is going to survive for another 5,000 years ago. And I don't want to make a comment for the future, but I am very, very confident with my deeper insight that time will come that Ayurveda will be on the forefront, and in many countries it will work cohesively with the mainstream medicine, because at some stage different countries and their governance will start becoming more and more aware that if they really sincere for the public to which they govern and for their well-being, they need to provide them in a system which has a much more complete and holistic approach, and that can only come when Ayurveda or even Chinese medicine, these principles will become a part of that. So on that note, today I thought that I will share with all of you that you must now start looking at acquiring a higher qualification in Ayurveda. Not straight away, I will not say that. If you have a diploma qualification, you want to practice with it and see how it goes, you can definitely do. But if you acquire the diploma qualification and you feel, yes, this is the pathway I want to have for whole my life, then if you can afford by time and everything, you must look seriously to get in a qualification which is the Advanced Diploma qualification for your career path. So that's all from my side for today. If anyone listening today or will listen to the recording and you have any question to ask that what will be, how the course will be delivered, we're going to have a live session, live webinar we are going to offer so that you can make an informed decision where we will give answer to every question, explain every subject, that how in depth the subject will be taught, and what kind of commitments from the students we will be expecting. So you can definitely put your interest to us. Email to AIS. You can go on the website, or you might be able to find the emails for the AIS admin, and send them that we would like to join that live webinar. And at the same time, you will find we can send you the prospectus, we can send you the timetable, because there is again a lot of live intensive session, hand-on session will be run in Brisbane. So, and we also offering this course not only to the AIS diploma graduate, we are making this available to everyone in Australia who you have to have mandatory qualification diploma anyway. So if you are from the different schools and want to look at now acquiring advanced diploma qualification and want to learn much more in depth, and those even who might have done advanced diploma but feel not very confident, you can also apply, and we can look case by case at how we can support. There are many medical doctors in Ayurveda who are also seeking some kind of help, which they understand that they lacking so much of those skills which are more and more sought after in the Western world, and have not done, even though their theoretical knowledge might be very intense. So for all those, collectively our focus at AIS is that how we can produce quality, confident Ayurvedic practitioner of the higher qualification, so public can confidently seek help from all those, and we collectively as a community of practitioner of Ayurveda can help anyone, so that they don't need to feel disappointed, because Ayurveda is a kind of last hope for public. We don't want them to feel disappointed, because after this there will be nothing, and there is nothing that I can give you very confidently and a response which realistically help everyone to empower themselves for their well-being. So let's work together. My appeal to the public will be also that if you are listening and if you know anyone who want to learn Ayurveda, but learn Ayurveda at a much more intense level, you can recommend them to contact AIS. And at the same time, one more thing I want to share, which I don't have any hesitation. Some student from different schools, or even many, I will not say many because I don't have the record of many, but I definitely know a few, 1, 2 or so, those who are having diploma qualification from AIS, they also seeking advanced diploma qualification, because they are well knowledgeable and sharp that time is coming up that we need to have the higher qualification, but they're seeking and making inquiries with different other organizations that do we have online advanced diploma qualifications available. So all 5 fingers are never going to be same. There will be always such student who will be very hungry for deeper and deeper knowledge, and there will be always such student who always still looking for some kind of easy path, in spite of learning that how intense learning is at a diploma level in AIS, and rather than be on the forefront of that line to seek enrollment in advanced diploma, they still find their own way that if I can get in a piece of paper with an online and still show public that I'm a higher qualified practitioner. So, but that's fine. There is nothing wrong and right. People will learn with their own experience. Sometime when you tell someone, even to the child or to the adult, that this is fire, don't put your hand into the fire, but many want to know that is it really burn the finger or hand as being taught by my teacher. So learning is on a different way always. So my request to all, come together, learn Ayurveda with its intensity and serve the public with passion. Thanks everyone.